Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Meeple has landed.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Vitruvian Meeple's production of the Powers That Be, a Claim the Sky campaign. I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple, here as always with Patrick, ECAT, Matt, Julie, and Ray. We're here to play some CYPHER system superheroes using the rules from Claim the Sky. If you have not been following along, well, you're only at issue 31. You've still got plenty of time to catch up. But for those of you who want the faster version, I'm going to turn it over to our GM, Patrick. Patrick, please take us back to the world of Excelsior and remind us what the hell happened last week.
So when last we left our intrepid adventurers, whoo boy, were you in for it. You finished your strange adventure of traveling through the non-existent liminal spaces near the edges of the universe. You came out and witnessed a weird ceremony where alien creatures being pulled out of nowhere and torn in half and given to new people. And then, of course, a fight started that occupied us most of last week. In that Automacon, the former World War II hero of America, one of America's first heroes and the first non-human hero, strangely enough, made a lot of headway for a lot of people because of that. It's very important. Attacked Excelsior after having been possessed by the mad overseas AI known as XAD. You fought it good. And eventually managed to put it into a state where, having not destroyed it, you at least rebooted it. And in the process, of course, Crash disappeared. He is now in orbit inside of the satellite with the crazed AI because, well, that's what happens when you use weird spatial things around weird spatial effects. Automacon is out of action, and then just when everyone thought things might be okay, in landed the Reichsdonner, the massive mech from World War II, which almost invaded the United States, until it was, of course, stopped by the aforementioned Automacon, is now standing there, still with the hole blasted through its chest, ready to deal it out to everybody. The local scions assisted the team in putting it into a time freeze bubble. How long the Mind Hive will be able to maintain that is up to question. No one's really sure. But you now have time to try to make heads or tails of the situation and fix things. And of course, the entire team is absolutely exhausted. If only there was a place one could go when you needed a pick-me-up.
I don't know where it is, but I'm pretty sure I'm in a satellite office of it.
Oh,
So it begins.
it begins. Oh my god.
Okay, so Patrick, I'm up on this satellite, and I'm conversing in some manner with Exedy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do I perceive any facet of the connection between Exedy here on the satellite and the Reichsdonner down on the ground?
Yes. Strangely enough, they are connected.
I'm gonna have
Although
to
the
say
connection is
some.
really weird right now because the connection goes into a time bubble. So
Yep.
it's kind of stopped in mid-command.
Excellent. Uh, what what is Exidy? Do I have any concept of what Exidy is doing at the moment?
I'm wondering what the heck you're doing up there.
Okay.
And it is experiencing some sort of distress caused by your presence, and it is communicating with other satellites. It's probably a fairly thoroughly networked creature, so this is likely not its only outlet.
Okay.
And a whole bunch of packet lost
Yes.
dialogue bubbles are coming up.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You're seeing error messages happen all over the place, which is weird because you don't see them like they're printed, but you just know they're there, and you know they're in bright red letters.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. You said that I can perceive that the connection is wonky right now because of the time bubble.
Yes.
I want to see if basically I want to keep watch on that, and if I detect any change, like seeing it start to speed up again, I would like to hop on board that signal and get beamed down to the systems of the Reich donor. Cause why the fuck not? Crash is an arrogant son of a bitch. That this is
You're an
absolutely
astronaut and a fucknot at the same time today.
Yeah, he is absolutely convinced that he saw this on I don't know,
MacGyver.
yeah, an episode of like a CMI Gotham or CSI Gotham or something, and is absolutely convinced that this is going to work because Daryl Chill Mitchell told him so.
That one episode of the X-Files where William Gibson wrote it.
Right?
Yeah.
See? Documented proof.
It's on
All
TV.
right.
It's not a lie.
So the rest of the team that is currently on the ground, did you see the mighty Reich Donors? Like it's huge. It's at least 30 feet tall. An impressive thing. And you see it through the shimmering wall of the bubble that it is now in with the weird glowing people floating around it. Most of the other heroes who are involved in the fight are on the ground fighting to stay conscious. Statesman looks horrid. His skin is burned. His hair is all messed up for the first time ever. If anybody took a picture of it, he'd be ashamed.
Someone take a picture.
Trying to get to his feet after having gotten into a fist fight with, some sort of bizarre robot of unknown origin.
I can't take a picture. I shattered.
I want to, if I need, I want to roll for bureaucracy of the project, but I want to get on the horn with somebody that I remember from the Queen's Guard, who I know transferred to DC and has ties to their weapons project in order to call for serious backup.
Okay. You can totally do that. You know people.
I do.
So let's see. Since this is kind of for reasons that may become apparent fairly soon, since this is kind of a dire time, let's call it a difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6. And where is it? Where is it? Okay.
Skills tab.
No, I got that. Well, yeah, I guess. Okay. Okay. I will add 2 levels of effort.
And don't forget that. Let's see. Ooh.
Ooh.
So I would like to spend an XP to re-roll. I missed one of the digits in the number and wound up calling HR, oddly enough, to Myrna, a cousin of our beloved office matron that we get to deal with, who pursued similar paths and is trying to talk my ear off right now. And I'm sorry. So,
Does
Like
anyone want to
program.
assist him in operating his phone?
Like the program just hasn't cloned their entire HR. You know, it's
I-
just one.
Sure, I'll go over, take the phone out of the boomer's hand,
hey,
pull up his contacts, push speed dial 3, hit send, and hand it to him.
Okay, take an asset and try that again.
oh my God. One asset, one level of effort.
No, okay.
What?
So if you're doing an XP reroll,
Jesus.
you need to basically do the same like levels of effort that you would have that you did before.
Okay.
You just don't pay the points again.
Okay.
Which means
Well, with
you
that-
actually made it. Because if you'd done the second level of effort, that would have been difficulty 2.
Okay.
All right, that's an arrow one. Okay, so you get through. The phone picks up. Yeah, hello?
Hi. Long time, I know, but we've got Reich on the ground, temporarily but unstably in stasis. And
Oh,
we
where?
need
Where is it? It was over here not a long time ago.
in Excelsior.
Oh,
Smack
good.
dab in the middle of fucking town. Queens. You
Yeah.
remember.
Oh, Central Park.
Oh, Central Park. Yes, of course.
Oh, okay, that's good. Let's stop knocking this building down. Oh, damn. Do you have any idea where Automicon is?
Out of commission. We already took care of him.
You what?
I'll explain later. I know this great coffee place. You'll have to come. It's fantastic. But we have been told without actually being told in no uncertain terms that we need to give this bastard everything that we've got and then some.
Yes, yes. It's a lot tougher than it looks. And it looks pretty tough.
We know.
It got shot by a battleship on its way over to the US.
Yeah, it seemed to have let that one slide off pretty well by the looks of
It
it.
didn't ding the paint job.
That's some damn good paint.
Just made it cranky.
Okay, so what do you need out there then?
What do you got that can get here fast? We need immobilization if we're going to have any chance with this thing.
What's
What if
immobilizing it right now?
Scions.
Oh, huh. Not know they
With
could
a
do
little
that.
bit of unvolunteered help. But you know what? I think they'll be okay.
That is weird. Okay, I'll see what I can come up with. You're in Central Park. There's plenty of space to land. Though I'm not sure if the Liberty League is in any shape to join you. They took it really bad very quickly.
Wow.
But we'll see what we can deliver, and well, I hope it doesn't wake up anytime soon.
Yeah, you and me both. Just ping me when they're on their way, okay? I want to give
All
my
right.
crew a heads up.
Sounds good.
All right.
So while Gene was doing this, I want to be running predictive equation on the Reichsdonner, specifically looking at the big gaping hole in its chest
Yes.
and looking for, weak points like reactor shielding or anything like explosive.
Here is where things get really, really weird. You look inside. You said people have been walking through this hole for a long time, and it's been the entryway into the Park of Memories. So it's a pretty sizable hole that a person can, for the most part, just walk through. The metal is all slagged around it. It is straight through the reactor that used to power it. The reactor is now on. So it is spewing out, what is that type of radiation? I keep forgetting about that.
There's
Gamma
It's the
radiation.
type, it's when the atmosphere ionizes around it. And it
Oh, yeah.
glows pretty
well,
bright.
that's Cherenkov.
Cherenkov radiation. Yeah, so there's like some Cherenkov radiation going on around this thing. And if you look into the hole, which, why not? You're probably going to get punched flat anyway. So, dying of acute radiation sickness probably isn't the worst possible way to go today. And that's saying something. The spatial interior where the hole is wrong. It is causing some sort of tear in space-time.
Okay.
It seems that when it got knocked down and the reactor was immediately shut off in the process because, well, it was blown apart, whatever this effect was didn't happen at the time, but somehow the reactor is turned back on and it is involved with causing some sort of spatial rift inside of it.
Okay. What about its ammo magazines? It's got a couple.
Yes, it does. So some of the weapons have external ammunition on them, or at least partially external. So like the machine guns have ammo belts that go to the outside and then go back into the arm. The other arm, which has the vortex cannon on it, and also no hand, also is ringed with, I forgot the name of the thing. It's the 4-barreled anti-aircraft weapon. It's set up like that around the outside.
The Pac-12. Oh,
To bring up
I know
the
what you're
coilless
talking
rifles.
The BFG.
Um, Meanwhile, the rockets are mounted onto the back. You don't know if they're any further on the inside. And this does strike you as a unusual decision in its design, given that most tanks have all of their munitions on the inside to make it harder to get at them and blow them up.
Yeah, that doesn't always work for tanks, though. The whole Russian T-series has a carousel ringing the turret, which means if you hit between the turret and the body, it gang fires the entire magazine, and you get the largest metal frisbee ever. It's kind of hilarious.
Herbert doesn't have a whole lot of armor.
Nope.
It turns out.
All right, so we've got a weird spatial rift inside it.
And you do have a little bit of concern looking at that, how the stasis bubble that is affecting it is interacting perhaps with that.
Right. Hive, how long can you hold this thing?
Mind Hive is not saying anything. But, oh shoot. His name
Bill?
is, yeah, Bill looks over and says, we don't know. It depends on how long these guys last.
That's
The
comforting.
Hive can go for a long time, but this isn't their bodies. They're borrowing, so we'll have to see. I don't know if there's enough time to get enough of them over here. They tend to live inside, though. They don't stray out very often, so for good reasons. So getting them over here would We would need some fast means of transport.
Hey, Jack, do you have large amounts of explosives on you?
No.
Fuck.
Luckily, it has large amounts of explosives on it.
I've
I
had a
mean,
really bad idea, but I could only do it once.
okay. I'm listening.
Not only do I have the ability to withstand all forms of radiation, I can teleport to any point I can see. So, like, I could teleport into the center of that hole if we had a way to blow this shitter up. But
Well,
I could
I
only
guess,
teleport there. I could not teleport back. I don't have enough power.
right. So, can you teleport an object instead of yourself?
No,
You sure
I can
about that?
yes, I can transmit myself to any location I have seen or been to, no matter the distance, as long as it's here on Earth. And I could bring someone with me.
Right. So, out of character,
Yes.
do you have enough points to do a power stunt?
I have 9 intellect points. Teleportation is 6.
Okay, so that's a no.
I'm just leaving it out there for the greater good sacrifice thing.
Yeah, let's stick a pin in that. Because this thing is
Plus,
rocking.
right. Keep in mind, little Jewish girl wants to take the Nazi robot out.
Oh yeah, well, the ethnically ambiguous guy is on board with that whole thing.
It never had its paint job redone, by the way, so it is covered with things like iron crosses and swastikas and all of that.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
it's
It
got a
looks very
rack
much
of
like what it is.
4 V1s strapped to its back.
Hmm.
I mean, if we can get at those and just shove it into the hole and then blow it.
Another thing I can do, I would have to run up, go touch it, but I can exile it to another random dimension for 10 minutes while we come up with a fucking plan.
Well, that's a thought.
So,
Okay.
Jeez.
That takes 5 intellect points out of character, but that takes 5 of the 9 I've got.
Gene, you see something out of the corner of your eye. It catches you, you see it, then you look back and it's gone. Which is at the edge of the park, the wall that surrounds it through one of the now several gaping holes in the wall surrounding Central Park. You see a man standing there, leaning on a cane. And it looks familiar to one of your old teammates. And you look back to catch the conversation, you look back over where he was, and it's gone. But you could swear you know who that is.
And I get a sinking feeling in my gut at that image. And my plan was already in place. I was just about to speak or activate the comms once Black Ice and Jack had concluded. And you just hear, huh?
Yes.
Do you know anyone with telekinesis?
Yeah, I held up one finger and I start going through the mental Rolodex of the Atom family and who has what powers.
So, on the one hand, yes, you know many people who have telekinetic abilities. But Bill is also standing right next to you. Well, not right next to you, but he's nearby. He has
He's kind of busy
telekinesis as well.
controlling a whole bunch of.
I think we need reinforcements, and frankly, family's going to have to learn to deal with Bill. At least, this is an extreme situation. So I pull my phone out where, my small cell phone out from kind of inside the cleavage. And I speed dial mom and dad.
They pick up, and you can tell they pick up because they lay into you the second they can start talking.
Stop.
Oh my God, what the hell are you doing there? Get back over here. It's not safe.
No, I can't leave, and I need reinforcements now. I need telekinetics, and I start rattling off the names, and anybody else who's got firepower. This is an all hands on deck situation. There's no way that anyone or small group of anybody can deal with this thing.
Right over where Mind Hive is.
Yes.
We'll see who wants to come, but we'll send at least a few over immediately.
Thank you. Hang up, put the phone away. Reinforcements are coming. I don't know how many, but I've asked for as many people who are as willing to show up. And I look over at Neva and got chewed out for being in the middle of danger.
Yeah.
So
The
Neva,
Hispanic guilt is just as bad as the Jewish. I get it.
you notice that Sentinel is now trying to pull his helmet off. Which is kind of a good sign that, apparently is still alive after falling out of the sky and getting landed on.
Is he still right on?
He is just outside of the stasis bubble. So he barely managed to not get flattened.
Tom down. Okay. I'm actually gonna drop my skateboard, my ubiquitous skateboard, and zoom over there and try and drag his ass out from under. Because we may need
there's still very little friction on the ground, thanks to your good friend Jack. So you managed to grab a hold of his boot, drag him back a bit. His arms flop ahead, it kind of goes limp. It's quite impressive for a suit of power armor to go limp.
So yeah, I drag him back to where I am over kind of by Statesman. And just use my lack of any real first aid skill pick in the hospital my childhood to do a quick assessment of the guy.
Well, that seems to be why he's taking off his helmet, because you can't really do a good assessment on him. He's surrounded in armor.
Right.
The armor looks largely intact. It is sparking in a few places. It's dark in some of them, but it hasn't been flattened like a toothpaste tube or anything like that. But you can't see what's going on the inside.
Okay, so I do a quick look to see if I can figure out how to help him get his head off. Hold on. And, use my knowledge of science and stuff to help him get his helmet off.
So roll a knowledge, science, and crafts. This will be a target 5.
And I'll put a little bit of effort into it because I'm gonna guess this man has added some oh, and do that again.
We're just not having a good night with the dice pool.
Oof.
This is what we get for moving off our scheduled rotation.
Yes,
Are you
this is
saying that the
first
dice
tonight.
need a longer rest period?
Yes.
The dice gods are not pleased.
Yeah. Eric, dude.
Yay.
Yay.
So you managed to find a catch along the one side that releases the pressure inside of the fittings, and it starts slowly coming off in your hand. And you're doing it slowly so you don't like pull his nose along with it, and manage to get it pulled off of his head. And he starts breathing heavily.
In, out, in, out.
He looks up at you and says, "Sit rep."
I didn't hear what you.
Sit rep.
I blinked at him.
Situation report.
Oh, thank you. You. Atomicon's down. Nazi robot is in state. You got pancaked.
Okay. He takes a lot of effort, rolls a bit to his side, curls up, sits upward.
I'm helping
All right.
as best I can, but he's in a big bulky suit.
Yeah, it is lighter than one might think, but it's still heavy. There's a whole lot of machinery in that thing. So he turns his shoulders and his head a bit and tries to take in what's happening. Okay. We're all not dead yet. Yes, we got
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I've called in reinforcements from the Adams. I'm hoping my at least some of the family will show up.
Okay. I'm not sure how much of the team can get here. They're not doing good. It's around. Oh shit! Statesman's down. Not out though. All right. Yeah. Reaches around, pulls out his communicator, which is attached to his forearm, hits a few numbers, waits. You hear the phone ring. Rings like 4 or 5 times, whoever he's calling, because obviously he's not answered up very quickly. Eventually, New York Medical Clinic, can I help you? Yes, we need him. Central Park right now. Urgent.
No.
You do know that.
No.
No, we need him now. All right, we'll send him over. It's not far. Hangs up, puts the phone down. I know you don't like him. He's also very useful.
Your statement, sir.
I mean, yeah, he's a monster. But like many of them, he's our monster.
I reach up to the earbud since Jack and Jean aren't near us, and I go, shift is incoming.
Oh, good.
I had
at
almost
Sentinel.
conveniently forgot.
Yeah, I look at that. What is your sit rep? Like physically, do you need? Not that I can do much, but
I think I may have ruptured several of my organs, and I think most of my bones are broken for moments. I did not land softly. I'm surprised I can move.
and then I ping in, and Sentinel is a bunch of busted pieces.
Well, at least shift will be good for that.
Yeah, he's good for something.
At least more than just violating somebody's personal rights at this stage of the game.
Patrick, am I still receiving comms or am I out of?
So, Crash, I'm glad that you bring that up. So, the connection to the right donor keeps timing out.
Okay.
And so Exa starts thinking up a different strategy. And you see through the tracking software, it adjusts its aim off to the side of it. And its cannon starts charging up.
So I'm going to see if I can pull a Garibald on this thing. So I'm going to try to persuade Exidy that my criminal past might give him valuable information and advice if he shares his plan with me. You know, I used to do this for a living.
Sure.
Why don't you tell me what you got in mind, and I'll try to punch some holes for you. I won't even charge you a consultant fee.
Let's see. So you're thinking a deception roll.
Oh, yes.
So you're going to try to use deception on an artificial intelligence.
Yep.
All right. Target for trying to deceive XD is going to be 9.
Okay. So let's see. I'm trained in deception, so that brings it down to 1. I am. Why is it eased by 2? I don't know. Because I copied that and shouldn't have. Okay. So I am. I'm using mind for might, which allows me to use my might pool and edge anytime I use my intellect pool. Anytime I would use my intellect pool. Since it's base difficulty of 9. So let's see. What happens if I pull 4? Yeah, I'll do that. So what I'm doing is I have gotten used to the concept of kind of funneling the liminal dimensional energy kind of through my brain as I'm doing things, and kind of using that to supercharge myself, which is how I'm visualizing the mind for might works. So I'm basically doing that and just kind of throwing it all into the system where Exidy is. I am using 5 levels of effort. Can I get an asset because it is still, I'm assuming, relatively confused by the fact that I'm there at all?
Sure.
Okay. Come on, baby. There we go.
All right. So do you want XD's
Nice.
immediate plans or long-term plans?
Let's start with short term, and once we've patched the inevitable holes in those, then we can move on to long term. It's all right. I think I'm going to be here for a while.
Okay. It's going to use its X-ray cannon to shoot the people that Mind Hive has co-opted. That should break the link that they're using in order to keep the temporal bubble up and bring Right Downer back online for her.
Oh, well, that's not going to work. See, what's going to happen is he's just going to get more, because there's always more. So, I mean, really, if you wanted to go for damage, just pure destruction, I think you're looking at the entirely wrong part of the city. And if you want to go after one of the premier psychic forces in all of Excelsior, I suggest you train that little pop gun on Rikers Island. Because the circus is in town. And let me tell you, you get Circus King out of the way, the city's that much closer to being yours.
Actually, I don't even want the city.
Really?
Unfortunately, they were trying to keep me from taking the equipment that I needed.
Hmm.
Eurasia is a very large place to conquer.
Ah. Hmm. Yeah.
And
No,
parts of it are going to be harder than others.
I get it.
But
Yeah.
I can't set up my zoo without having, a coherent area of land to work from.
Yeah. That's perfectly reasonable. So consider this a test run. You're targeting an area of you're targeting a location rather than a person or a group of people, because when you go after this Eurasia thing, you're going to need large swaths of land and civilization just clear, right? Maybe save a couple of ones for this this zoo you're talking about. I love that idea, but in the meantime, let's even let's get through let's call this the alpha version of your plan, and we'll do some debugging right here. What do you say?
I like how you think, actually.
Thanks.
The cannon rotates and adjusts a little bit more.
Okay.
Because it doesn't take a huge difference in angle to, travel the quarter mile.
Sure.
It powers up and prepares to fire.
Am I hearing the rest of the team's comms? Am I still connected to the rest of the team?
Actually, yes, you're in your satellite does have some good communications in it, and let's face it, I can't imagine that Jackdaw would not have satellite access on these things, just in case you're somewhere without a cell network. Okay.
So I'm going to sub-vocalize and communicate to the rest of the crew what is going on. So I'm up here in a satellite, I think, with this rogue evil AI that apparently is going to try to take over Eurasia. I think I've convinced him to do a test run on Rikers Island. Let's see if we can, solve more than one problem. I like being efficient. So,
Look up over Sentinel's head at Paw and give her the what the fuck look.
Yeah. As well as just keep it talking and also maybe distracted as well.
that's my plan.
So the cannon starts charging up, gets to about 10% of capacity, and then fires.
Okay.
So those of you on the ground see a bright beam of light lance down from the heavens over to Rikers Island.
Okay.
We all jerk our heads like, oh, fuck, now what?
Oh shit.
No, that was planned.
Then you see smoke raising up on the island.
Oh my god, it worked.
Was that plan too?
Of course. Waste not, want not.
I'm just waiting for the shockwave that should be hitting about now.
Right about then.
So the sites on the satellite are, of course, following the tracking of the weapon, and it is looking at the blast site, and it zooms in a bit, and you see it's kind of weird because there aren't a whole lot of permanent structures on that side of the island, especially now that they've torn down a whole bunch of the ones that were there in the first place. And you see that she has fired a very nice, neat hole straight through the center of the big top. And the big top is collapsing.
Excellent.
And it's starting to catch fire.
Okay.
Because energy weapons do that.
See, nothing wrong with the little target. Now, let's see what happens next, because this isn't exactly
Oh.
fire and forget.
That's obvious.
Is
Well,
it?
you see, the great part about your plan is the easiest way to get my materials out of there is to enrage another enemy. I figure a nice symbolic gesture like destroying the tent that the man is in should wake him up and get him pretty riled up. Feel bad for anybody who lives on the other end of that bridge, though. He has a lot of people over there.
Crap. Okay. Can we hear Exidy's side of the conversation or
No,
just
you cannot.
Crash?
I am.
Just Crash.
So, unforeseen circumstance. Apparently, getting the Circus King riled up has now become part of her plan. That she, by the way, I don't understand how that works, but that's okay. Neglected to confide in me. My bad.
Yeah, well, that was
Well, it was
less
your
of an
idea.
earth-shattering kaboom and more of a zot. Expecting a little more property damage from an orbital laser, to be perfectly
That's
honest.
true. That was it was kind of disappointing, but I think the plan was not to kill him, but to get him angry.
Okay.
Why
Patrick,
anger him?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do the atoms have some sort of like everybody's connected, you can hit a button, emergency text?
Yes, you do have an emergency network.
Okay, I am
You know
going
this
to
because it's been going off because they've been texting each other about the situation over here, trying to get people to come over.
okay, and I text in and say, okay, we need split forces. We need some at Central Park and some to corral the Circus King and his people on Rikers Island because he's going to come out guns blazing momentarily.
So, Casey, why does she want to piss off the Circus King?
Probably she needs some materials.
Materials like rare earth metals?
Probably.
Semiconductors. Yeah, okay, that's making a lot more sense now.
But it's
Talk to
making
me.
sense to somebody.
Talk to me. You're the brains of the outfit.
Well, how do you network a whole lot of organic components?
I've heard there's a way that
Or-
mushrooms do it with something underground. I don't know the details.
No, that was the other guys.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you got a good look at the ambassador's bodyguard. Dude was packing serious cybernetics, so I'm guessing there's going to be a whole lot of brain implants mass produced. I mean,
We're
Look
gonna
it
go
up.
full on Matrix here,
Yeah,
huh?
pretty much.
yep, you will be approximated. Your cultural interest in cabbage will be assimilated into the whole. It's Eurasia, man. You know how many fermented cabbage products are.
Huh.
So across the park,
Oh,
a rather ordinary individual starts walking towards the group of you all. This time, some fairly nondescript white guy, dressed up sort of like a doctor. No stethoscope, though. Wearing the white lab coat. Just kind of hustling his way down the trail on the park towards you.
Well, I guess switches here. Or shift.
Shift. So Shift walks up to the whole thing, looks around, the big robot thing, looks at Bill. That's different. Bill's like, this is not good. Can you fix some people? We are in a bad place. Apparently, the island just went nuts too. Oh. Well, I guess. And starts walking over towards Sentinel.
I back the fuck up. Just
So he walks over to Sentinel, crouches down, takes his hand, just puts it right over his face. Oh. That's massive fall damage, I think. Yeah. Oh, damn. I have never seen somebody rupture one of those. And trust me, I've seen a lot of really injured people. That's, oh, damn. You hear a loud pop coming from inside the suit. Okay, that's back. Probably need your hip bone. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, how's that? Sentinel stands up. Oh, fuck. Thank you. Okay. We're not lost, I think. What the hell happened over there? Pointing towards Rikers.
tents go boom.
Orbital death ray, standard superhero stuff, right?
Redirection of what almost hit us.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, shit. Did Hexa take over a Sol or something like that?
Yeah.
Seems to have the Hammer of Dawn online. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. That's not good. So he holds out his arms and the suit falls off of him. Just all the catches release and drops to the ground. And he's wearing some sort of skin tight thingy. All right. Well, that's useless now. Okay. That's kept in check for now. Get those guys getting riled up. I see a lot of fire going on. Well, that's not good. Okay, so has anybody called the Adams?
Already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I think I need to talk to.
yes, I have put in a call to them to have some divide and conquer, have some of them go and try to contain the Circus King and his minions on Rikers Island, and the rest come here to support at Central Park.
Oh, we have to be careful about the king himself. The rest of his minions aren't a problem, but you don't want anyone getting close to him.
I pause momentarily, turn to Jack, and go, wild idea. Because,
Okay.
we gotta lose. What about our buddy the troll? Think we can get him back into not read.
I mean, y'all know him better than I do. I've just apparently argued with him over mathematical proofs online. So,
Well, I'll need somebody to hand me a phone that's already got his contact info because I kind of broke mine. And I'll reach out to him.
whole impulse control thing.
Oh, never mind. I hit one of the big pockets in my coat, pull out my tablet, and I just start messaging roll. Issuing the challenge of bet you can't hack into Reichsdonner.
Reichsdonner offline.
Like that's ever stopped you. Got a bag of special edition Oreo cookies just More in trash.
All right. Must go DC then.
Sooner. You can do it in the
Remember,
next.
he doesn't know that it's up.
Right.
He literally lives in a hole in the ground.
Right. Speed essential. And I then take my phone, my tablet, turn it so the camera is facing Rex Donner, and snap a picture and send it to him.
To which it responds, "Oh shit."
Well put. And I just and then actually I go then, does that mean challenge accepted? Cool.
Oh, big challenge. Electromechanical. But
Still a robot.
on my way.
Put my okay. I let reinforcements has happened.
It's good.
So, Gene, you're standing there, kind of taking all of this in, waiting to hear back from the home office. And of course, Calamity's there. Just she is having a wonderful time at all the chaos and mayhem going on around her. And someone walks up behind you and slaps you on the shoulder.
I whip around defensively, ready to take down whoever it is.
A very
I'm a little on
nondescript
edge.
looking person standing there with his hand still on your shoulder. Like, relax, everything's all right.
Oh, this is all right to you.
Yes, especially because top off your pools and reset your rest cycle. Nope, just him. He's the only one who's been hit yet.
So darn.
Okay. Done.
And then he, like, all right, Chief, well, I figure the leader should at least be awake for all this. And he wanders off and starts going over to talk to Bill.
Hey,
And I look at him. Does he have that characteristic slight limp in his walk as he's going
No,
away?
What you notice with him is his proportions are a little off. Like he's in between being two different people. So that was Shift, who just healed you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In case anybody else, gets ideas and wants perhaps some healing. Unless you're up in a satellite somewhere and still have to figure out how to get back.
yeah. Hey, Bill Klein, the Scion guy.
Yeah.
Question. It may be dumb here, but can we actually physically interact with the Reichdonner while it's under stasis?
No. Would not recommend it. If you're inside of the bubble, you're in stasis. If you're outside of the bubble, you're not. If you're in between, bad things happen to you. I would not recommend touching it.
Okay, well, that goes that idea. All right.
Kind of an emergency thing. They don't like to pull this out very often.
What does Eddie see when looking at the time distortion in the nice scenic hole?
It looks like You know, in old versions of Windows, when the window manager would die and you drag a window and you just see copies of it dragging behind in trails like it was on acid.
Oh yeah.
It looks sort of like that to you, except it is just falling further and further into some other dimension. So it's not moving left or right or anything. It's just away.
Jean pings in with Eddie. How dangerous?
Ooh. Pretty bad. That's something Erebus could do. And Erebus is one of the oldest.
One of the oldest, huh?
Fascinating watching humans do it.
Dangerous for me or dangerous also for you?
I'll be fine. I'm eternal, I think. Speaking of which, my cousin's angry. And you just automatically start looking over towards Rikers. Ooh. That's someone hit him where it hurt.
I think that was the idea.
Ow, right in the audience.
Right in his.
I mean, not wrong. So, a weird, bright and yet dark arc flies across from the Bronx and lands next to you guys, taking the form of a woman who largely seems to be made at this point out of molten lava and solidifying into rock around the edges. She lands a fairly short distance away from Paul.
Jean resists the urge to say, "Who's the hot chick?"
Your mom's hot.
All right, it is her mom.
Well, she's the family's mother. She looks up at the right donor and then at the ring of people. And she's just like, oh, that's what is wrong with them?
Including the cigarette.
It's easy to light
Oh,
up.
yeah, because she's smoking hot.
That's right.
All y'all are fired. Just
Fired?
Ha!
Ah. So the Adam's mom has it going on.
She looks over at Bill. What the fuck did you guys do? He looks over. We stopped it. You know, that's what you're supposed to do when people are getting hurt. He looks back at him. Oh, yeah, I'm sure those, is that 27 people here are, I'm sure they're going to be just fine after this is done.
okay. Can we table the hostilities until afterwards? Let's deal with. I pointed that and point in the direction of Rikers. Let's deal with these issues, and then we can deal with these issues. Because I am really not in the mood.
Okay, so we took a look over Rikers. It is now just full of clowns, mimes, and other carny type folks. I imagine the audience is turning into them because that's all that's there. And the Circus King is riding around on an elephant, howling like a madman. Probably because he's a man. Be my guess.
Like I say, watching the mimes run around on fire and scream silently is just hilarious.
Send in the clowns.
So Crash,
Skateboard.
the cannon starts aiming itself back towards the Reichstag. Wonder if I could split the beam and get all of them at once. Have to do some math on that. Hang on.
So, let me get this straight. You need some of the things that are in Big Nazi Bot, right? Am I hearing that correctly?
Oh, I need both of them. They're very important to my plans.
Both of what?
The one, unfortunately, is not on my control at the moment. I will have to fix that.
Oh. Where is it?
Oh, it's on the ground over there. Starting to move on its own. That is discouraging. Must have rebooted it or something. How the heck did they do that? Oh well, I don't know where that technology came from, nor do they. So we'll see what comes up with that one. It's a question mark on the field.
Tell you what.
Kind of like the person standing right behind Gene. That's he doesn't see him. That's fascinating.
X behind you.
Hmm?
I don't see anyone standing there.
There's someone behind you. I don't know who.
What does he look like?
Uh,
I don't see it.
right now, I think it looks kind of like a human-shaped heat signature.
Can you see through deception to see, since I'm hearing all of this, to see if I can make it out?
Why, yes, you can.
I can. When
Target for see-through deception is going to be a 7.
Well, I don't see anything. Try and roll again.
Can I roll a perception check?
Yes, the target for, let's see, I'm trying to think how many more steps difficult that is. That's not quite the right skill. Would that be 1 step higher or 2 steps higher?
I mean, there's
Let's
no.
call it an 8.
Can I give him? Can I say that? Can we say that I'm helping him because?
Yes, you are, because you can actually you can see the heat signature and whatever other types of signatures this thing's looking at.
So I am trained in perception, so X, you get 2 assets for that.
Okay. Well, I'm specialized in it.
There you go.
So,
Down to a 4 to start with.
yep.
Odds are getting better and better.
And a level of effort because why not?
Yeah, if it's free, do it.
There we go.
Nice.
Yes.
Let's
Nice.
go.
So
Excellent.
what major effect would you like?
Slowly I turn.
Great.
The
Now I have
major
divine stuck
effect
in
that
my
I
head.
want, the major effect that I want is that as I dramatically turn, I guess so I turned and we did the whole I don't know. And the roll effect was hold on, look, read things, stuff, abilities, bad. Okay. I absorb pure energy. I do an absorb pure energy from his their heat radiation. And not only do I recognize as soon as I redo this, but I do a release of basically like sprinkling sand over the invisible man so that it becomes visible.
Oh, actually, I have an idea. How about
Sure.
you just absorb the magic from him that he's using to keep himself invisible?
I love it. Yes, let's do it.
So you turn
I
and look,
bring
and then the rest of you get to see this wonderful thing where there wasn't a person, the air kind of glows and shimmers into these weird sigils and whatnot, and then gets absorbed into Gen X. And standing there is a somewhat dapper looking person wearing a old style Louisiana party suit. So has a nice tails and the cane, and wearing a nice top hat. And so standing before you, your former teammate. Would you like to describe him for everybody?
When he was Ziggy, he 6'3" Jamaican from Queens, lean, proud chin, very, very active and engaging eyes, strong stature. What you're seeing now are those features, but distorted, purposefully enhanced, but not in the best way and not for the best reasons. Still effective, but there's just something off. Unless he's engaging you, in which case it becomes, for regular folk, becomes very easy to go along with whatever he's saying. And he doesn't go by Ziggy anymore. He is now Obey. And Obey he took the name because of the the voodoo deity
Loa.
but the link with the English equivalent, he's just fine with that.
I was thinking it was, someone gave him that nickname because he was crabby.
I really wish that I could do a good Jamaican accent, or a Louisiana accent for that matter, because he's kind of speaking with a bit of both, seeing as where he's been hanging out for a while.
Got a little bit of Cajun in him.
And a bit of the Yachty accent.
Oh, yes. Definitely with that.
Oh, long time no see, brother.
I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or assault.
Oh, do
Actually,
you need any
yours,
more
Gene?
enemies tonight? He looks over at the right daughter.
Say again?
Do you need any more enemies tonight?
Oh, I figure I already have. My count is remaining steady. I don't know about yours.
Oh, we're not enemies. We're brothers. Remember that. He slowly saunters around, heading towards the Reichsdonner.
And as he
Looks
does,
up at it.
I'm saying, so were Romulus and Remus.
And then he turns towards the Sentinel and starts walking over to him.
What business do you have with him?
And Obey looks over at you and looks back at him. Oh, he doesn't know. Oh, well, maybe you could inform him. He is moving up in the ranks after all. And Sentinel looks a little confused and looks at you. Oh, he's the chairman.
The what?
He's the chairman of the committee that runs STEM. You didn't think it was just the five of us, did you?
There's a lot of things from that era that I've really tried to put behind me. His betrayal is about 7 of them.
Ah. Ube looks at you. Oh, you're still stuck on that. You have to take your defeats well. And you're back in action now, right? Rather impressed.
No thanks to you. I'm also trying to get I'm not asking anything, but I'm pinging Eddie going, hey, 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 hey.
Eddie is surprised because he didn't see him coming. And he usually knows where his siblings are. You see, your thing is you always think too small. That's why I had to move on. Always, you need to protect this neighborhood. You have to protect. No. There's much, much bigger things afoot. The time is coming soon.
The time was to do our job and protect those that we swore to defend.
No. The time. The reason we're here. Brother.
I really wish you did not use that phrase with me.
Oh, but we are. We're all brothers. There's a few of our cousins here, too. But we share the same parents. We came from the same place.
You seem to be much more comfortable with admitting that now than you were when you first created the group. What was your change of heart?
I've been learning. I've been learning what I had been doing wrong all along.
What, had a conscience?
I understand. Conscience doesn't have anything to do with it.
Oh, so that's why you left Tony.
Surely you know these people they're ants. They spend a very brief time digging around in their cities, moving sugar crystals from one side to the other, and then just drop. This is deeper than that. That's what I'm after. And you didn't. And why shouldn't I? It's our job. Why we were created. I'm certain of it.
Well, I'm very happy for your certainty. But right now, I'm trying to hold on to the last couple of shreds of reality that I've got left to do something for these people that you think are insignificant ants who actually mean a great deal to me and to many other people here.
Oh, what has happened to you over the years? People used to worship at your feet. And that was a fine pastime. I don't begrudge you of it. It's not a terrible thing. But now, gotten soft in your old age. But don't worry. It's all going to change.
So, as he was saying that, there is a interdimensional, something tingly feeling. And I lean in and go, Who are you really talking to?
I'm talking to you, the real you.
The real me.
Yes. And you know who I really am. This, and he holds up his hands, just time and space. We have to get rid of that. Our
Gene
favorite
is
cousin is a little. Our favorite cousin has gotten a little too used to being in charge of things around the universe. Thinks it's his, but there are other ways, and that's what I came to realize. You ever read a fantasy book? The whole world works differently.
I had a long time to do a lot of things while I was out of commission. Thanks to you.
Oh, yes. I couldn't have you getting in the way.
Do you perceive me as in the way now? Brother?
Yes. You see, the thing is, there's only so many of us, and we have a very tight picking order, as we've always had. And for entirely too long, I have been at the bottom of that ladder. And now I'm going to move up to the top of that ladder. So you should be nice, because I'm going to be in charge of you soon. He looks over at Sentinel. Not that I'm not already.
And this is the organization you want me to join, Gene? Really?
Out of character moment, Mr. GM.
Yes.
Do we know the source of Shift's powers?
Shift is a scion.
Okay.
So Shift has highly advanced and fine-tuned psychokinesis in order to move parts around inside of your body at a molecular level, sometimes atomic. And instead of having telepathy in order to read people's minds, he can read their nervous system directly to figure out what is wrong with it.
Okay, so he's not one of these alien
No.
dudes. Okay.
Nope.
Okay. I skateboard a little over to Gene and pull him off to the side because I could see, we can all see the tension that's happening here. And I pull him off to the side and I look at him in the eye and I say, Eddie, is it possible that Shift could remove your fellows from other bodies? If we remove them from their host, they can't survive here. Am I correct?
It's not entirely correct. Eddie would survive your death. Eddie would still be around. It's just that he would not be physical.
But would he survive on this plane?
Yes, yeah, they're
Okay.
all still here. They've been here for a long time, longer than humans have been around. So whatever they were doing, they were able to interact with the universe without being physical about it.
Okay.
And apparently they want to get rid of the physical.
Okay. But I'm going back in character and looking at Eddie, trying to get through his eyes to get an answer.
You see the as I relay the answer, you see around my pupils the not a lot, but just sort of the teeth that happen whenever. So that's
You're going full Corinthian on us. I get it.
a little bit, yeah. Well, only about 42%. I mean, we're not all around here.
Just the tip. Okay.
Hey. So yes, Eddie responds in that kind of, like we would be fine. The hosts, not so much.
Okay.
So can sever the connection of the host body, which will inconvenience the symbiote and seriously inconvenience the host.
Yes.
So it's not a permanent solution on the symbiote side of the equation.
But it could
So-
buy us some time.
Well, it'll buy us some time. And also, I don't know, the whole thing Obe said about getting rid of the time and space, meaning physicality, is a little disturbing. Don't know if anybody else caught that.
Sever the initiation.
But Eddie, with the initiative in this new conversation for him, because he's never directly spoken with anybody else like outside, it's always been the translator, continues going, but why? This is progress.
What? The symbiote thing progress or getting rid of space-time progress?
See, this is where I disagree with you and your brother. Well, actually, our cousin, to be precise. He is half boy, half brother, maybe. It's so complicated. And we throw genders
we
into
need
it.
a-
I thought my family was complicated.
Can we get a family
Turn to
free of
Obe.
the
I turn to Obe and say,
interdimensional
I am
space
not
grids?
speaking to you. I am
You just
speaking
spoke
to
to
him.
That's the beauty. We've become one. We are of the same mind.
You just go
But
away.
anyway.
Right. Okay.
Obviously, we have a lot of things going on tonight. My plans are moving ahead. So, Gene, I need you to do something for me.
I
As
don't
As your boss, you may notice that your part of town is being invaded. You probably should put a stop to that.
You stopped being my boss the moment you put whatever this is inside me off kilter and went off to find your greater purpose, which was leaving us all to suffer. I've been running.
Suffering's temporary. So perhaps you need some persuasion. He holds up his hand. It starts glowing this weird purple color that's really hard on everybody's eyes. And, but dancing in weird dots and lines that, signify in any high production movie, the CGI that comes along with magic being done.
It was Ziggy all along.
Okay, how's this? I don't just need you to, protect your stretch of town as you would promise to. I need you to protect the things that you care about most. And he waves his hand, and this sigil starts forming, starts spinning, and then pulls Calamity into it. At which point, pink, it closes. Well, I've just given her. You better hurry up. I don't know how long she'll last with him around. But this is a great, very human story. You can fight over a girl.
Can I pull off a cheap shot and like
You can of course try to pull off a good cheat shot on him.
so absorb pure energy and just sock him one to the face for old time's sake. Is that something I can roll?
I'm trying to decide if I want you to roll for it or not.
Okay.
It's a good point of drama. So, without any change of expression or whatnot, your hand just lashes out, catches him right on the jaw. His head snaps back, bends backward a bit, then rights himself. Ooh. Oh, good one. Feel feisty tonight. So, it doesn't change anything. Yeah, I understand you're angry because she's very important to you, isn't she? Your town's very important to you. So, go and do my bidding. Go take care of them. Go save them, and well, we'll see who ends up being the person who's in the right at the end of the day.
This isn't
Join
over
my
yet,
side.
Obey.
You could be my member too.
Don't exactly like the sound of that, if you get my drift.
I know. That's okay. It's not easy to admit you've been beaten.
So if you join him, you become a piece of shit.
It's okay. It's how he was making us feel all along there at the end of our tenure. I'm familiar with it.
So,
That's
Gene,
okay.
how attached are you to Obey's host body? Because he's obviously not.
To whom are you asking?
Gene?
Hmm. Oh. I thought I was blissfully rid of this man for a long time.
Well, I can happily tender your resignation for you if you'd like.
Appreciate it, Jack. But something tells me that we've already angered enough big meanies.
What's one?
Oh, come on. What's one more?
What's one more, he says?
Oh, this is gonna end badly.
Now just think for a moment, if you will. What happens if I do go away? Well then, we just happen to know that who's on the other side from you right now. The first of us and his good friend. You have space, time, and light. Hanging out together. You know, those two have never gotten along. That's a fascinating thing. They're kind of opposites, but there they are working on the same team. What plans do you think they have for you? Just don't think that they aren't, planning a nice takeover. What do you think Erebus has been up to? He's been gaining power. He's been doing something. Even I don't know what it is because I can't see everywhere like he does. But he has his plans for this place. And remember, points up at the sky, The stars are aligning. Time's ticking away. Only so long for this run. That's why we came here in the first place. Something big's gonna happen. And I'm gonna direct where it ends up. Now, if you don't mind, I have some stuff to attend to. And he turns, and once again, that massive purple sigils spring up around him, swirl about him until it's his shape, and then poof, disappears.
I'm left visibly shaking, just staring where he once was, hand still clenched in a fist. And probably near my wit's end, given everything else that's happened up to this point. I look over to Rikers. I look up at Reichdoner. I look over to the rest of you. I look over at Bill. And I ask, oh, wait, is there still drama happening with Fire Lava Woman?
Yes.
Okay. And so I look back over at the team. We should probably address the circus attendants. And I just leap up because if I don't do something, I am going to snap. And like just start flying over there.
I look at Jack and Pa and go, I don't know if I want to be doing the bidding.
No,
And be a little lapdog, snap your fingers.
no, that's kind of leaving a bad taste in my mouth.
That if we leave here right now, we're just being yes men to that asshole.
True.
And frankly, I
And what
kind
the
of
fuck happened to Calamity?
That's a good question.
I'm just like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
kind
well,
of need to
Crash is
know.
somewhere.
Yeah, well, Crash went a little too
Speaking of
fast
which,
and is apparently
so
in
Crash,
space. So
as you were up in orbit, and the cannon is now focusing on the ground surrounding the Reichdoner. You're seeing a bunch of interesting geometric patterns forming up on the targeting reticule as it's trying to figure out the best way to split up the beam focus in order to get it to go into the appropriate shape. Fortunately, for your ability to get a few seconds to think, this of course is heavy mathematics, and she is a database system, so not so good at the heavy mathematics side.
Yeah. But really good at searching.
wrong hero.
Yeah. Might work. Might die. So, let me offer you a perspective. You can do all the computations you want up here, but if there's one thing about human beings, it's that they always do something unexpected, right? So what you need is you need someone on that beam to really make it go where it needs to go. Now, when this is all said and done, STEM's a smoking heap. I'm going to be in need of a new employer. So I'll tell you what. I help get this beam where it needs to go, and when you're ruling Eurasia or the world, or I don't know exactly where your ambitions end, think of me fondly, if you would. Maybe with a job.
Sure. What's the worst that can happen?
And I am going to pull a Kevin Flynn and jump into the beam.
All right. So you see, of course, the standard science fiction-y thing where a whole bunch of smaller beams are organizing into some sort of big sphere just before it launches, because that's obviously how energy actually operates.
Right? Yeah.
And then it punches down through the aperture. And as you jump in, it vaporizes your existence almost instantly. But somehow not your consciousness, because that's how your powers work. And you feel yourself projected down towards the ground, which, as far as X is concerned, this is great because the matter energy transmission that just went on is massive. So she's thinking, okay, maybe Right Donner will not survive this. Maybe, though, that field around it will keep it from being vaporized when it lands, and I'll just go pick up it from the crater that was a city. Oh, the inner water. Meanwhile, you're just towards the ground.
Do I have enough time to shout through what may or may not remain of the comms in this pseudo psychic state that I'm in, or maybe if I am in a psychic state, maybe I can just talk to Hive Mind directly. Drop the time field.
So all of you on the ground are, dealing with the, well, so what the fuck are we going to do now? And you see all of the people surrounding the Right Donner stop, look up with their glowing eyes, all at the same time get this confused, panicky look about them, and they all drift apart backwards very quickly. And just as a shaft of light descends from the sky, the bubble drops from around the Right Donner, and it starts rising upward.
So what would I have to do to have my psychic self, whatever this is now, be in control of the Right Donner?
Oh, controlling it, I don't think we can do, because y'all still have to fight it for, good reason.
Just for the not necessarily permanently, just or at least enough to make it stall and maybe get in a word or two edgewise.
How about you landing through it reboots the damn thing? It seems to be a fault with various robots that you run into.
Yeah, I mean, I sure, I will, okay, yeah, we'll pivot to that then, yeah. So I will, doing the swan dive, and kind of phase through it as it goes in an attempt to maybe phase back into real reality. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yes. Well, you have a remarkably thin window to put yourself back out of phase in the space between passing through it and passing through those couple yards between its legs until you pass into the earth.
Luckily, I'm just that good.
All right. Let's see. Want to give you something to roll for that, or
I could just throw an XP at you and say player
yeah, no,
intrusion.
probably not, because if you rolled a 1 on it, and now he's on the other side of the planet because he took a
I've got
eyelash of
no.
time too long.
I've got several safeguards built into Crash in case I roll a 1.
So you all see the beam of light strike right onto the right gun. It envelops it. It starts heating up. It's glowing. And then it passes through it. And when it hits the ground, the light goes out. And standing there in his superhero pose is Crash.
Where one hand down on the ground, the other hand not quite kneeling down in the 3-point landing, but kind of.
With the background, that looks perfect.
Yep. There we go. There it is. There's the publicity shot. Got it.
Golf clap. Just golf clap.
Hold on.
All right.
Good of you to join us.
Now, I was busy on a scouting mission. We've got a crazy AI who wants to take over Eurasia and start some kind of human zoo. Needs something from this one and something from that one, and I point to Atomicon.
We also have a conspiracy of extra-dimensional parasites who want to take over the world too. And Gene's fucked off again. So
must be Monday.
Oh,
yeah.
and I'm going to keep the head of the atoms from beating the snot out of the scions.
I'm this close to saying fuck it and heading to start Sunbucks, but the interdimensional aliens stole our barista.
Well, now that's a problem.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Somebody please post that one. The interdimensional alien solar barista.
Yeah.
Did he steal her or did he hide her?
Yes.
Do we know
He
what this
kidnapped her.
asshole's power set is? Well, yeah.
So is Smoking Hot Lava Lady and Bill, are they still shooting zappers at each other?
They are shooting daggers at each other, and now that they are no longer occupied in keeping the right donor still, which is rebooting as we speak, the Mind Hive people have started circling in around them.
Okay, I will zip in between them. You, come here. You, come here. And I hold out, both of my arms to basically, look like I'm gonna, look like I'm inviting them to have me put my arms around each of their shoulders.
I wouldn't recommend it. The one's very hot right now. So several more of the Addams family are starting to arrive.
Do they come over to me?
Oh, they are landing all around this because they know who their opponent is.
No, I mean, the Mama Adam and I think Bill. Are they the ones? They were the
Yes.
ones, yeah. Do the two? I'm motioning to the two of them to come to me.
They're not paying any attention to you. They're just staring right at each other.
Okay, then we'll do it this way. I am going to zip back and forth between them. So I kind of make my own echo as I, one word at a time, back and forth to them, raising in both pitch, volume, and intensity. We have bigger fish to fry. And then I zip off towards Rikers.
And several more of the Adams are arriving. Mostly the faster moving ones, which are some of the pretty fast ones. And a few of them are doing things like leaping off of nearby skyscrapers and landing next to Paw. And of course, their proper superhero pose because that's what
Yeah.
they do.
And Pa is literally just like facing, like, just deep breaths, looking around at the atoms who are landing. Is there anyone who has landed who has like common sense or some wisdom,
All the rarest
not likely to freaking who can actually maybe help diffuse the situation so that we can go deal with Rikers?
You hear a voice from behind you. It's kind of has like a weird flat echo to it. It says, that person's already here. It's you.
Okay. Neva, Jack, if you want to go and help the guys over at Rikers, I'm going to deal with this. And I will be there to back you guys up once I make sure that this is not going to explode anymore. You've had enough explosions, and I point at the ground around the freaking right downer thing.
Pa, you may have forgotten, but Jack totaled our ride.
Hey,
So you notice,
it looked
by the
cool
way,
at the time.
that
Yes, it was.
the person who had walked up to Pa to talk to her is none other than Automaton. Standing behind her is much taller than she is, because she's fairly average height. A little bit bigger than that. Not huge, though. But seems to be back online now.
Hey, Tin Man, no hard feelings, right?
Why would I have hard feelings? You brought me back.
Okay, good. So
Okay.
you got the whole giant Nazi robot thing?
Looks up at it. It took 5 of us before. But we might figure something out.
Oh, we got you. We got a quick thinking mathematician with a gun complex, a cat, and a girl who
pissed
plays
off
with
cat.
ice.
No, I pissed
A
off.
pissed off cat and a girl who plays with ice. And
Could possibly
Sentinel,
go
if
wrong.
he's with us or not, but he's kind of under the influence of the interdimensional parasites.
Automacon looks over. They aren't parasites. They're what most of you humans call gods.
So they're
And I
parasites.
think that's it
They're
for this week.
parasites.
Yep. No, that was the ending line right there. That was nice.
Yeah.
To be continued. All right. So that was issue 31 of the Powers That Be. This one was called Test Your Might. I don't know how much we may have followed what Patrick had intended by that, but that's okay, because that's how this game goes. All right, so we are going to get out of here, do our after show. That'll be up on YouTube tomorrow night for any of you who might want to watch. To let you know, the next session is scheduled for 2 weeks from tonight. That will be July 22nd. And then we're off for 3 weeks, going to go back to the regular cadence starting on, I believe that's August 11th. Whatever that Monday is. So, like I said, we're going to get out of here. Hope you guys had fun. In the meantime, for Patrick, ECAT, Matt, Julie, and Ray, I am Trevor, the Vitruvian People. Good night, everyone.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Meeple has landed.